Emmanuel Community.
Welcome to Celebrate Aging. I'm Vicki Marthaler, your hostess, and today here at Emmanuel Community we have one of our wonderful residents, Ruby Egan. And Ruby is, how long have you lived here, Ruby?
About 2.5 years right now.
2.5 years. As we were talking, she grew up in Iowa. She was baptized, confirmed, high school, married, corn-fed. But somehow you meandered up here into Minnesota, found God's country. And her and her husband had a very interesting business, which maybe a lot of people out there in TV land will remember. And we'll think about some more memories about the Shoreham area.
Yeah.
But we want to hear your story, Ruby, so you tell us how you got up here to Minnesota.
Well, when the youngest child went to college, and the rest of them were all gone from home.
8 of them.
8 of them. We had what we called the empty nest. And then when Bob came up with this opportunity that the bait shop was for sale, and we wanted to do something different. I was driving 40 miles to work every day.
Oh, wow.
With mentally handicapped.
You were
place.
okay.
That's
So you were, but you had to drive 40 miles, and you were being a caregiver. Now your son, you're talking about, lived up here then.
They had already bought
a gas station.
A gas station and a mechanic's place from the Sauer brothers.
In Shoreham.
In Shoreham.
Oh, okay.
And then his other brother came up here to help him. And eventually there was 3 of them up here.
Wow.
David was here for a while too.
So they went up north.
They went up north, and so that was, and then when we moved, we had 3 boys and ourselves here.
Uh-huh.
And so that
And now you said that this bait shop was owned by a family, but the husband passed away?
Well, he'd been dead several years, but his wife had run it. Lil Lytle.
Lil Lytle.
People would know her, and her son. And she just couldn't handle it anymore. She wanted to retire.
Sure. So what did you know about a bait shop?
Nothing. But it was an opportunity for us to live in the same place, because Don was on road construction and he would be gone for 3 weeks at a time.
Wow.
So it was an opportunity to, and we liked the country up here when we'd been here for Bob's reception, Bob and Jane's wedding reception.
Uh-huh. You said they got married in a snowstorm and nobody could...
In Colorado.
So when they came here, they had a reception over the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So you got to really be up here in the nice part of the time.
But I said we were smart. We didn't come to town.
Well, there's enough commotion out in Shoreham.
Yeah, there was.
Okay, so there was the gas station that your boys had and a repair shop.
Then Eddie and Leonard's house.
That's Hildebrandt's.
Eddie Hildebrand sat there.
Okay.
And then our bait shop was the next place.
Okay.
Then was the river.
The river.
And then across the river was the village resort. And across the street, and then the chapel.
Yes.
And across the street from them was the Shoreham pub.
There was a lot going on, wasn't there?
Yeah, we were the downtown Shoreham.
Do you know what year that was? Do you remember what year?
We moved up here in 1981.
81. So there was a lot going on in Shoreham.
Yeah.
Now you said you lived also? There was living quarters in the...
We made living quarters. Of course, I think Lil had lived there herself.
Okay.
But yeah, there was the bait shop. Then there was one bedroom that we made a storeroom, the big bedroom. Then there was a tiny bathroom, walk in, sit down, walk out.
Just do what you have to do and get out of there.
And then we had the other bedroom, and it had room for a bed. There was a little bit of a place where you could hang clothes, and the cedar chest. And that was what room there was. Fortunately, all the windows were up high, so
Okay.
nobody could see
Now
it.
tell me what, you said something about the kitchen too. It was,
Oh, the kitchen was just a walk-through, not as wide as this room,
oh my word.
and it had the stove and the refrigerator and a little fold-down table.
I bet you're glad you didn't have to cook for 8 kids in there.
I couldn't have.
You couldn't have.
And you want me to tell about the time I got mad? But the sink, and then there was a little bitty counter, and I had stuff on the stove, and I didn't have room for doing anything, so I took my arm, and all the dishes come down on, or pans came down on the floor, and my husband came in and he says, "Cool down, cool down." And of course, the door was usually standing open to the shop.
Sure.
Fortunately, he was out there alone. And so when I got that picked up, that solved that problem. Well, then you went into what was supposed to be the living room. We had an open fireplace, not an open fireplace, but
Yeah.
just a stand.
Sure.
And
Well, you made it work.
we made it work.
And you were there for 5, how many
5 years.
5 years.
And
5
then
years.
my husband decided he was ready to retire. And I came home from work at Swift's one day because I had gone to work because we were having a bad winter. And said, "I put the place up for sale today."
Oh,
I said, "Oh, why did you do that? I was going to quit come summertime and come back." And he said, I come home on work Monday night, and he said, "I sold it."
well, boy, he should have went into real estate.
So we had that short time to
Yeah.
get out of there because the other people were going to start on the 1st of May.
Wow.
And
Now-
this was about mid-April.
Is the bait shop still there?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They closed it. Oh, and then the name,
The name?
I wanted to name it The Big Gamble because fishing's a gamble, and it was a gamble for us. And he said, "You were the biggest gamble I ever met."
That's what your husband said.
So we named it Ruby's Bait Shop. And that pretty much covers the...
Ruby's Bait Shop. Well, if you remember Ruby's Bait Shop in Shoreham, this is Ruby. And you also had said you had like a little convenience store in there too. You
Yeah,
did
people
carry.
kept coming in and asking if
For
they,
milk and
we had
bread and
this and we
eggs.
had that.
So you had a little convenience store too.
Yeah.
I bet you met a lot of people.
Sure did. I can tell you a lot of faces,
Oh,
but names don't
names
come.
will escape.
And Steve, who always plays with my dog, and
Oh, Steve Score. He's one of our volunteers
he
here.
was,
Yes.
yeah, he's a volunteer here. He was one of our best customers.
Well, there you go. You know, there's so much history here at Emmanuel. We hope that you'll come and visit. Come and visit with Ruby. She'd love to visit with you. And we have many other residents who have stories. I know you said you bought bait from the Bakkens, and
Yeah.
Stella Bakken lives at Lamplighter, and her husband is here at the nursing home. And there's just all kinds of connections. The Hildebrands, like you said.
Yeah.
So lots going on, lots to remember, stories to share, stories to tell. And this is Vicki at Emmanuel saying, celebrate aging and celebrate those memories.